Hello everyone, Krydex here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. We're researching the fish turd, which is taking forever, but when it's done, we'll have a much more effective fish recipe going here. And the zip ears are going to take a while to spin up, but we've got them running as well. Hopefully we get one or two from this. Well, I guess hopefully we get one. And then we can get that rolling. Yeah, what do we do next? So we wanted to fix the fungible liquid fuel. We wanted to automate stack inserters. I don't think we're actually doing that. So this is just work on science block. We're doing all those in the science block. Processing the refined natural gas back into condensates. Turning extra guts into HCl. Coal dust final trashing. Chlorinated water for the eventual moss upgrade. Lots of options here. This belt seems a little overfilled. Oh, never mind. Okay. We just don't have a mixer, so it's kind of all over the place. I could also slow down the inserters. Because the problem is the eggs build up so much in the... What do they call this? The output slot. So because of that, we could make it so that if eggs are backed up to here, we call it quits on these inserters. Egg, fish eggs, less than 4. Okay, and then that way, we're not making an absurd amount of extra fish eggs. I think that'll be somewhat helpful for spoilage purposes. And then bio crud we are removing. Might add a second inserter just to be safe. Get rid of all of it. Hey, here it finally showed up. The big tank for wastewater. And now what? Okay, so next in the Pi2 list. Why is this? I don't know. That needs to be outputting Zapier egg. So what's next here? Korlex? Yeah, Korlex is what's next. That's what's up. We gotta make Korlex food. So let's start with that. And then we'll work towards actually making easy squeeze ranches. It's so funny to me. Centrifugal pan, agitator, and mixer are all needed. Are we making any of those? We've got centrifuges, which is different than a centrifugal pan. Agitator. Centrifugal pan. That needs niobium pipes, by the way. Pressure pumps, mixers, and tailings ponds. Did we ever set up tailings ponds? We did. The agitator needs melamine? Ah, what? Are you for real? That's so annoying. Ugh. Melamine as a ingredient in building. It's only for agitators, but agitators are used in particle, well, probably not gonna need a particle accelerator for a while. It's also used in tier 2 agitators and some tier 3 buildings. Okay, so what I'm thinking, because that's such a small amount of melamine in the grand scope of things, what I'm thinking is I actually provide it with logistic spots. Because it's just such a tiny amount. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just throw some melamine in a provider chest over here. And we'll just use the urea decomposition for that. And then we'll put a requester in way up here in the auto mall somewhere. Maybe we'll have a spot for all of these type situations. Or we'll request. And then we need to put into a storage on channel 1. So it'll be like that. So this will request melamine. Just 1 stack is perfect. But then this is on channel 1. Ah. Back button. I used the back button for profit. For fun and profit. And then that needs to insert limited based on melamine is less than 100. So that gets me 200 buffered between the two of them. How did that tailings pond get in there already? Get out of there. Get out of there. Alright, so that actually should just fix our problem right there. That's easy enough. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. So that's done, and then now we can make the Korlex easy, well, what do the easy squeeze ranches need? Yeah, we can make those. Okay, so why don't I take this block. First of all, I want to actually copy it. Because this is within the pyscience. I need to make a new block for milk. Although actually this is the block for animals, not for their products. I guess it's both. But I never made a block for Korlex itself. Whoa. These are complex. These are very complex. So this block... Factory, easy squeeze ranch, they do 20 modules a piece. And the pups require Korlex food, 2 for seed, and fish hydrolysate barrel, which needs fish, sodium hydroxide, and sulfuric acid. I'll probably make that on site because I think this is the only thing we need fish hydrolysate for. We looked into that. There is a way to turn it straight into fertilizer. That's a turd replacement. The fish meal and fish emulsion are also for Korlex. And there's a way to... Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to be using it for anything else right now. So we'll have to import these. Do that, and then we get, what, 3 a minute from that? Is that enough? I mean, Korlex, I don't think we're going to be rendering, right? They don't seem great for rendering compared to AUGs. Bones, meat, skin, lard, guts, brains, blood. I mean, AUGs are all the same thing. And it's just way more of everything. So unless Korlex has become way easier to make than Augs, which they're certainly not at this point. Now, granted, the cost of one Korlex, maybe it's about the cost. No, the food is a significant cost. Look at that. Look at all that you need for one Korlex. That's nuts. Yeah, no, this is definitely not. This is not something we're going to be rendering, so we'll only need one repro complex. Let's go set up Korlex food. That should be the easiest part of this to do. Do I have a food? I do. He has a food thing. Add a recipe, Korlex, food. Add its own little block here, 0.5. So many ingredients. It's just like the list goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, I'm starting to think we might just use logistics bots for all this. This is becoming ridiculous. This is becoming pretty ridiculous. But we also have a lot of stuff already on belts. Like, we've already got seaweed and tin. Seaweed, tin. Coal? Do I have coal? Oh, I don't need coal. I just need fuel. Kick-out seeds? I have Relasia seeds, but not kick-out seeds. Yeah, this is becoming kind of disgusting. I think I'm just gonna use... But 1, 2... We also need fish. Huh. Yeah, I'm just gonna use logistics bots. I'm calling it. Calling it. Time of death. 190 hours, 3 minutes, and 1 second. Okay, so channel 1. We're gonna need to grab some bots and bring them down here. And what we're gonna do, it's gonna be a little tricksy, but we're gonna do a system that I think is better than what we're doing for the others. What's it called? The mall. We're gonna use filters. Use filters. We're gonna set up a passive provider here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a constant combinator with a wish list. And then we're gonna do reading, because we need this to be on channel 1. And so all we're gonna do is read the contents of this. And then subtract it. I think this is actually super easy. No, because we need to negate the contents. Because if I do a negative here, it still won't work right. Yeah, no. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So what we do is we... Why is... How is there flora in front of flora spilinin? That shouldn't be possible. We fixed this issue. We literally fixed it. That shouldn't be possible. Let's just refresh everything in here. And maybe that'll fix it. I guess if the train arrived with even more decayed stuff? No, that shouldn't do it. Or should it be the freshest first? No, definitely decayed first. Anyway, sorry. Okay, we need a combinator. That negates everything that's in the chest. And then that adds with everything that's in the combinator to produce what we actually filter. Yeah, so each times -1 output each. And then we just have our wish list of what we want to be available in there. So from this one, oh god, but Flora is gonna be on logistics bots, which creates a whole mess of like, goodness, just a whole mess of Flora Spelenin needing to be filtered out into active provider chests. And then Flora Spelenin always gets requested over here. Okay, so that at least fixes that problem. Channel 1. Channel 1. And I'm gonna need channel 1 up here. I wish I could see the channel 1 network. Is there a way to do that? Oh, I can. Yeah, I just highlight one of those. Okay, there we go. So then, first of all, Vrauk food is apparently using up a lot of resources. Seaweed has come here like a bunch of times. I'm gonna change this to 20 stacks. I think that's getting us in trouble. Uh-oh. Oh, it has 216. We're fine. Okay. So that'll fix trains coming far too often. Anyway, so our wish list from this one is going to be seaweed 100. That should do it. Why am I not? Oh, I don't have set filters. There we go. Okay, seaweed, Fawoji, 10 plate. What else is in here that we need? Flora. I'll just do 50 on that because it'll spoil. None of these other things are there. What else can I handle 20 stacks of? We're at 160 total stacks, so I could bring salt here. The snail killer. And then we'll put that on our request list. Salt. 100. Kick-out seeds? How many kick-out seeds are we even making? I don't remember. Uh-oh, did I math wrong? I mathed very wrong. Whoops. Okay. Anywho, Salt, tin, seaweed, fuoji, flora. So I still need jerky fish, kickout seed, and fish oil. And we'll need to request. Oh, that's kind of annoying. I can move that one tile. I can move that to there. And then I can do this and this. So that doesn't totally mess up blood. And now I can filter on fish oil. And we'll need one for fish oil, which will go up and into this. There we go. And then that gets wired in. And then we handcraft it. And then we say fish oil. Say fish oil. 26,000. Okay. So that fixes that. Now we got fish oil available. And then, now what? Jerky. Wait, what's happening here? If jerky's greater... What is going on right now? Oh, because stuff can spoil in here. That's what's going on. Right. Okay. So why don't we copy this kind of mess and then remove that from it and then try to fit it onto the corner here. Minus our wish list. And then in terms of channels, they're both channel 1. Okay, so now this one has a request threshold of 5, so it's for things we need way less of. Unfortunately, I don't need way less of any of these things. I need lots of all of them. But this one's already at 181 stacks, so how much more can I throw in here? I could do Religioseed. No, sorry. Kickout seed. God, that's so many kickout seeds. I almost feel bad about it, but whatever. Who cares? It's all just power at the end of the day, right? Right? I'm gonna choose to see it anyway. We already did salt. And jerky, fish. Maybe we'll put fish in this one. Okay, so this one would be fish. Jerky. Now, are we actually requesting jerky? Or is that just... We are requesting jerky. Okay. Jerky fish, I think we're done? Okay. So then all of that, then... Yeah, I guess we'll just start over here. So then we have a requester chest. There's a couple things that need to happen here. So there's a requester chest that feeds the building. But there's also spoilage that could happen from the requester chest or from the building. So those are going to be filtered on whatever could spoil. And that goes into an active provider. And then there's the actual result of whatever the recipe is. And that goes into the passive provider. On channel 1 as well. Okay. With just a couple slots, because it'll be requested and put into the train station. So this is going to be Korlex food, not kick-out food. Kick-out food is not a thing. And then we realized that we need to use the Big Mama because of reasons. Probably because of 2 fluids being a thing. Korlex food. Yeah, it's because of 2 fluids. And surely we can just steal some steam from up there. I don't think the bot mall is actually frozen. If that's still there in a minute, then we can freak out. I mean, we won't freak out, but you know what I'm saying. Ah, I lied. It actually is frozen. Melamine's still not here. It never got powered up. And that needs to be on channel 1 too. Because it's measuring the logistics network. Okay. That should work. This actually needs to be up a square, otherwise things will be very unhappy train-wise. Okay, so anyway, then the food itself will go into a provider chest, but that needs to be filtered on the food itself. Because there's also the spoilables, as we discussed. In this case, the spoilables include biomass. Okay, not really biomass. That would only be if flora double spoiled, which is never going to happen. So it's really just flora spolenen. Okay. And then we do that. And we click 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Theoretically, if we go grab some bots, this will all work. What are the odds? What are the odds that actually happens? I have no idea. But yeah, I think I've been a little too hesitant to use logistics bots, especially because we have the channel stuff. You know, putting it all on channel 1 just makes it so that it doesn't really have much of a downside. It's literally just power instead of absurd amounts of belts and inserters. Now, there's also the infrastructure cost of the pYanobots. I won't deny that. Okay, that seems to be working now and has unfrozen things. Oh, the other thing I needed to do, at least onto one of the temporary ones. Well, why don't I just take the... I'll paste the whole Korlex piece. But then we also want to output 0.05 of those. Okay. And I don't need to include the food. Do I really? I think I only want 2 easy squeeze ranches being pup producers. It'll take forever to spin up. But it's like, once it's going, I just... 3 a minute is 180 an hour. And like, I don't need 180 an hour. Right? I probably only need 50 an hour at most for things to build up. You know, I need 100, I need 160 for this. So 50 an hour is fine. So 0.02. Yeah, there we go. So let's do this. And we've got some extra Korlex milk and casein. That's way too much casein, right? Why is it at 1? How much casein did we actually need? I needed exactly 0.5. Okay. Why is that on 0.834? Exactly. If it's linked, why is it on 0.834? Does something else need? Super confused. Oh, it's on the milk. I see. I see. So if I had a bigger milk output ratio, then it wouldn't have as much extra. Yeah, okay, that's like closer to the ratio we actually need. Okay, well, why don't I then actually just copy this in the smart tool. Throw that in there. Remove that. Remove that. And then the easy squeeze branches get thrown in. Oh no. That's funny. It actually had a recipe to make Korlex, and so it tried. That's gonna be stuck forever, so I have to do a reset. That's hilarious. Very unique problem for your module to have a recipe. You know, it's interesting. The Helmut Smart Tool for the Smart Pipette for the thing, it defaults to on, which can be annoying, actually. It's almost like I need to pass it through another thing that I can turn on or off, because this defaults to on. There's no way to remove those modules from the request before you place it. I guess you could place it, remove it, and then copy that over. Maybe that's the play. Anyway. I'm here now. We've got the bots. This is channel 1. So throw the bots in there. Now they're gonna go ham. And then, yeah, we just need like a requester chest here for various food types. And that's it? I mean, that's easy enough. Korlex, food. Korlex, food. Less than 600. Or should we do 1,000? We'll just do 1,000. 1,100, say. And there we go. Korlex food is running. Beautiful. Let me make sure everything's on channel 1 as it should be. And roboports are in decent enough spots for charging. So I think this is gonna work just fine. One Korlex food is so many items, though, individually. Maybe I shouldn't use bots for this. So many items. It's just like, you know, what do we got? 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 62 items for 3 Korlex food. So each food individually is over 20 unique items. Or, not unique items, but, you know, 20 actual items. Total. All right. Is the automall done? No, it's still working hard. So why don't we work on the fungible fuel problem for now? So with the new system... With the news, what do we do with this setup? How do we adapt this? I think we don't. I think the new system requires a separate depot for each fluid fuel. And we tell it we're providing pressurized air at each one. And then whichever one's full enough we'll be able to deliver. So I think that's actually far simpler. So all we need to do... I mean... We're gonna need 2 stations here. We won't need all this complexity, which is nice. I can just delete the train. I mean, I'm wasting some gasoline, but that's fine. Yeah, we're just getting rid of all this. Get rid of all you. Get rid of all you. Get rid of you. Get rid of that. And then what we'll do... Because the system... What's even weirder is, like, it's a mixed system that's delivering to here. So we'll have to have filtered pumps. Just make sure I'm not depowering anything here. We'll have to have filtered pumps going into these from the main system. So this will be filtered for acetylene. This will be filtered on gasoline. Problem is I don't have room for 2 stations here though. Those are close enough to empty that I'm gonna say screw it. We're starting fresh here. So let's get all this cleared up here. And now we've got fluid fueling extension. But that's requesting. I never did providing. Shoot. Didn't even name it. Fluid fueling. Request. Extension. Okay, so for providing, we need a different system. For providing, we need... Well, here, why don't we just take the classic F provider extension. And then... Is this... No, because they're all going to be pressurized air. So I cannot provide multiple fluids. Not easily. I could do a combinator that says, like... No, that's too tricky. I could keep track... Like, if I had 3 different fluid fuels at one station, I could keep track of which ones have more than 25,000 in them and only be allowed to pump those in the first place. But then what if a different one got over... I don't know. It's a little too messy. So what I think we'll do is we'll just settle for 1 each. And this will be activated. Am I ever going to request a non-full? It's fine. Pressurized air. And then we're just interpreting whatever's in the pie tank, just like we did before with a combinator. I mean, it's basically the same thing. We just have to interpret. Wait. So do we just use fluid provide fungible? Oh, we just do fluid provide fungible. I don't think we need to do anything else. Yeah. Yeah. We'll just need to change which one is the actual fluid. It's on the request side that we had to do something different. For the provide side, it's just fluid provide fungible. FP fungible at your service. So we can do gasoline. The actual gasoline. But the mask fluid is iced air. Right there. And this is going to have acetylene. And the mask fluid being iced air. And then that will just be held over here. And then we'll need to measure. That's attached to this power pole. Okay, so... Uh-oh. How did that end up? Oh, I see how that happened. Okay. So then that will be providing gasoline, which it thinks is pressurized air. That'll be providing acetylene. And then we need this network to pump into here. We need this one to be filtered on acetylene. And this one to be filtered on gasoline. And then that should work. So then that'll pump gasoline out, and then boom, acetylene then gets pumped into there. And they'll alternate back and forth until one of them's full and not needed. And now we can do the fungible stuff. So this is gasoline FF, fluid fuel. I'll call it FF gasoline. And this is FF acetylene. Fungible provide fluid. A lot of F's in this one. They all stand for something. Okay. Sweet. So that's it. That's just acetylene and gasoline for our fueling needs. And now all I got to do is go and fix the ones that request it. Which I want to say was only 2 places. It was Glassworks and it was the salt mine. I think we only ever used it in 2 spots somehow. Also, what the heck is this? Oh, random flue gas provide. Got it. Okay, so right here is where we now can ditch this. I don't want to delete that much acetylene. That's a lot. So maybe we can scooch it out of the way and not screw this up. If we then do fluid fueling request, perfect. Shoot. That's just a normal pump. I can do that. Okay. So put that there. Deconstruct this, shoves all the acetylene into the other one. Okay. I think that does it. F fuel request. F fuel. FF for Glassworks request. Okay. Let's see if it works. Well, I don't have 25,000 of either yet. So there is that problem. There's melamine going on Magical Journey. What's happening with acetylene these days? They're all running. Okay. And gasoline? These are all running as well. These are completely full. You know, heavy oil has 800 kilojoules. Redax just got an idea. But of course this stuff's all in the way. I'd need to shift. I should put this on top of the belt. But I could just add a fluid fuel provide really easily now. I think condensates are not dense enough, neither is aromatics, but I could easily do heavy oil as a fluid fuel. 800 kilojoules is dense enough. But yeah, let me go fix the salt mine one real quick before we get into that. Salt mine is over... It's one of these, isn't it? Yeah, it's this one. Fungibility. I could also use BTX as fluid fuel if we have extra of that. So it's going to be really easy now. Whenever we have excess fluid that we're trashing anyway, that's a decent fuel value, I can just shove it into one of those fluid fuel providers. See, and this one's tricky because, like, we already have... Ugh. I'm going to craft an extra one of these. I'm going to do this. Now, that's not what I wanted. Oh, haha, that's funny. I didn't realize... Oh, that's so funny. It connected with the building next to it. I wasn't even looking at that. That's hilarious. Okay, so get the acetylene out of there. There we go. Get these out of here. Scooch that out of the way. Okay. And then we need fluid fueling request. Blop. And this time we need to hook this guy up to that. Deconstruct this. Done, done. Deconstruct that. No, I guess we need that. Oh, shoot. Because, yeah, now I just have 3 in a row. It's fine. But yeah, did the Glassworks ever get a delivery? No, still no delivery. Let's go turn the heavy fuel into potential. I think that'll be important over the course of time, especially if we get smelters going or oil burners or something. Fix fungible liquid fuel. I'm gonna say we fixed it. I believe those were the only two places we were using it. It would show up as a red dot of a train station. I don't think we did that anywhere down here. So, cool. Okay, so now we just need to reconstruct this whole system to be on the other side. Vertical flip. I'm gonna put that up here. I might need a chest to get rid of stuff, maybe. Yep. No! What was that? How did that happen? Rude. How does that happen? I'm actually curious. I believe it's related to the mixture of blueprint shotgun and bots at the same time. I think somehow created that problem. Well, at least it's satisfying to vacuum everything up. Alright, so then back here we need to split that like we did already, but this time it does this. And then the Kerrigan was just there as fuel, so that can go up and around. This was pointless. And so was this. Alright, so that's done. This is now making stone brick in large quantities, which we kind of don't have the space for it. We kind of have to do something like this. That way it doesn't interfere with future train stuffs. Okay. Okay, so we can do that. We can do this if we're a little painstaking about it, to get these pre-buffered. Oh, that's already done. Okay. And then the ash, we needed Kerrigan being fed to that. Okay, and then that way we can get ash getting disposed of, and the bricks go on their merry little way. Okay, so that, now everything's out of the way. That's all we needed from that. So now what we can do is we can add a FP Fungible right here. And the actual fluid we're providing is heavy oil. And the mask fluid is pressurized air. I'll actually put this provide priority, you know, I'm gonna put that at 1. Because this is like a byproduct. This is a complete, we are completely throwing this in the trash if it's not going to this. So. No. No, let's do it like this. And then that will go up. Okay. So if I'm correct, this will begin filling... I don't want to handcraft one of those. It will begin filling this tank with excess heavy oil from all this condensates or shale oil processing, and then we can use that as fluid fuel, which will add up to a lot because we've been wasting a lot of this. And we already have a lot of heavy oil provided as well, which is a separate thing. Sweet. Okay, well that's really helpful. Fungible fuels for the win. Cybersyn really helped us out with adding that feature to allow for ignoring the loading manifest. Oh, whoops. We have to fix that on all of these. The provider needs to ignore loading manifest. Oh shoot, I completely forgot about that. Those are just gonna get stuck otherwise. Also, why is this one not trigger? We might have multiple issues here. This one should have triggered a delivery already. The unloader shouldn't matter. What's going on here with requested by 2 stations, provided by 2 stations? Why is it not in transit? Yeah, I've done something wrong. Channel 3 request. Load request threshold 25,000. Do I need it to be more? I need it to be 20. No, it needs to be exact. And that is empty, so it should work. Huh. Okay, now I'm a little uncertain. Why is that not triggering a delivery? Iced air. Let's figure this out. Pressurized air provided, 75,000. Train limit 0, that'll do it. That'll do it. Is that on the blueprint? Are they all 0? Yes. Well, I better fix that. And we need to fix the no loading manifest. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, so I think we've now fixed it. So back to here. So FP Fungible was fine, right? No, this is the one we need to fix. Okay. Train limit needs to be 1. Inactivity, no loading manifest. There we go. That should fix it. Also, I can have a train limit of 2, right? Yeah, I don't need train limit 1. Okay. FP Fungible New contents. Save. Alright, is FR fungible gonna need any changes? No, that has a request limit of train limit of 2. That should all be fine. And then what about fluid fueling request extension? That has a train limit of 1, which I actually prefer, so that's correct. And we're unloading, so we shouldn't need to worry about the loading manifest or anything. Oh, I'm completely out of gasoline canisters. Did our fuel manager get turned off? It's on. Why has it not been depositing the containers into my inventory? Maybe it only deposits them into your inventory when they get swapped. That might be it. Okay, well, we've already got some heavy oil in here. And limit of 2 on that. Sweet. Okay, well, that's going to help out a lot, actually. And we did do priority 1, yeah. Alright. We haven't had to do this in a while, but every blue moon, we gotta refresh our little fueling situation here for the bots. What do I do? This button, this button. Alright, so that doesn't work. You have to right click it. E brings you back. So there's at least 4 going. Get some power rolling. Wait for a little bit more here, but yeah. Okay, so I believe we have officially fixed fungible fluid fuels. Let me make sure this one had the correct train limit of 1. Sweet. And what's LTN think? Perfect. We need to go name this station. This is FF Heavy Oil FPF. And there's already 4,000 in there. Sweet. That'll be really useful. Now, I could turn the heavy oil into kerosene, which is a denser fuel at 1.5 megajoules a piece, but that ends up losing you fuel value. So I don't know how worth it that is, but it is technically an option. All right, and then boom, 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 boom. And if I give you some steel, I can make a few more canisters. All right. Let's make a little dump chest. Nearest dump chest area. Kerrigan. I'll keep... No, I don't need it for fuel. I've got other things. Get rid of all those tier 1 pieces of crap. Some extra stone bricks. Alright. Sweet! Okay, I probably need to call it an episode here. Just time-wise, we are already over. But, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. We're getting there. We're getting towards Pi 2. Oh, it's so exciting. And yeah, as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.